Lift and roll the shoulders. Turn the head to the left. Turn the head to the right. Breathe into the left. And breathe out to the right. Come back to the centre. Bring the hands to the chest. Breathe in, hands out, so if you can see me. Yeah. And back. Breathing in, out. And back. And last time. Release the arms, lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, arms up. And breathing out, arms down. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, arms down. Breathing in, arms up. And then last time. Breathing in, arms up. And breathing out, arms down. Lift and roll the shoulders. Place the hands once more onto the collarbones, and just circle the arms forward a couple of times. So, your choice. If you want to be really yogic, the elbows would meet. I find that difficult. So it's wherever, it's easier not to let the elbows meet. But of course, the more you come in to the centre, the more you're stretching the back, and then circle the arms the other way. And then come to stillness, arms out, arms back, arms out, and then arms back. And then just release down to the side. Lift and roll the shoulders. Hands on the waist, right arm up, right arm down. Left arm up and left arm down. Circle both arms up. Circle both arms down. Hands on the waist and just lift the heels to balance. Well done everyone. And then just very gently lower the heels. And step out. Feet hip width apart. So these are hip circles. I suggest bending the knees, swirling the hips one way, standing up, softening the knees, swirling round and up. So this is supposed to be good for the liver, if you were interested. And if you were interested in the detoxification aspect of it a little bit more, you would swirl to a greater circle. But I'm happy to keep it quite small. And then just very gently swirl to the other side. So this is tones of the belly dancing that we did. I will ask Jules that, because that was so funny. And then just coming to the centre. Feet hip width apart. And hands up. Hands to touch the floor, softening the knees. Rolling up, hands up. Looking up, if that's good for your neck, if not, look forward. Hands touching the floor. Inhaling, hands up. And down. And up. back to standing. Lift and roll the shoulders. So you're going to be better at this than me. It doesn't matter which leg, but just perhaps stand on the left leg and raise the right leg up and out, up and back. And again, up and out, up and back. Another 2 times in your own timing. And then just circle the hips a couple of times, one way and then the other way, and then come to the other side. So up, out, up and back. Again, in your own time, as I've gone wrong. And then just circle, lift the right heel and circle the right ankle and right knee. I mean, you'll do your own pattern, and then the other way. And then lift the other heel and just circle one way, and then circle the other way. And then just very gently come to step your left foot forward, right foot back. So think of warrior one. Your left foot can go out more to the edge of the mat. Balance, your right foot out at 45 degrees, left hand on the waist. Breathing in, raise the right hand. Breathing out, tummy in as you soften the front left knee. Back of the neck is straight, and touch the floor with your right hand. If that's not great for you, press down with your left foot, your right foot, and come up again. And just repeat. If that's too much for you, then just touch your shins as you're not coming down quite so far. Have a sense of lengthening along the spine and the chin tucked slightly in, so the back of the neck feel that it's long. And go in your own breath pattern. It's quite strong, it looks very simple. You can bend your elbow again to soften at the shoulder. And also it gives you a softer descent with the core, but again, if you wanted to be really yogic, you wouldn't soften anything, you would just have your arms straight and your legs straight, which I think is quite hard. So bending at the joints is always an option. And then just lower the right hand, step the left foot back, lift and roll the shoulders. And stepping forward the right foot, out to where you feel comfortable, the left foot comes in, right hand on the waist. You can bend the elbow and soften the knees. Breathing in, raise the left elbow, tummy muscles engaged as you come forward, softening elbow and knee by all means. Go straight if you want to and just touch your fingers to the floor. And then coming up again. Those are my new chimes that should drive me feel insane. We're almost divorcing over it. So he will find a way to mute them fairly soon.
Just take them down. You're kind of stuck with cotton wool next week.
I found the jingly bit up in the gutter, so he's done that. So I'm thinking I wouldn't notice I didn't for a while. I bought that at the Chelsea Flower Show on that mad trip with Janet. And last time. If you're wondering what this does, any of the warriors lower the left arm and step back. It's strengthening the bones, so weight bearing, osteoporosis, but the lifting of the chest is opening to the move, so it's very antidepressing in Ayurvedic principles. And then just a very familiar side to side. And then come to slow that down. And we'll come to our star. Yes? Can you hear me? Is she talking to me?
No, I don't think she is.
talking to a cat.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
Yeah, she said, do you need to go out?
Okay, I just suddenly heard of something. And then come to feet hip width apart and your star. So raise the arms up. I'm going to look to my right hand, bring the hands back to the centre. I turn subtly my foot in to facilitate star to the other side. And then coming back in. So again, turning. You'll get this diagonal stretch. We wondered what the object of your, I thought you were talking to me. So was that a cat or a dog?
Sorry?
Was that a cat or a dog?
Someone at the
Oh, okay.
door. Sorry.
And then just come back. No, don't worry, just lift and roll the shoulders. And then coming to lying on the floor. So come actually into Shavasana. I know we don't often do that, but I'm just going to do that for the moment. And hands can be either palms down or palms turned up. Just connect to the somatic sensory movement of moving your head very gently from side to side. So a reminder that in the somatic viewpoint, or from the somatic point of view, connecting to the feeling part of the movement bypasses the brain, and so it's believed to be calming for the brain. And then bring the head to the centre. Just gently circle the ankles a few times in one direction. And then circle the ankles a few times in the other direction. Relax the feet. And depending on the space behind you, very gently raise your right arm, bent at the elbow, and relax the back of the right hand on the ground. The arm can be straight or bent at the elbow. And very gently turn the head to the left. Breathe in, bring the head back to the centre. And breathing out, you can extend your right heel if you'd like, or just keep it relaxed. Lower the right arm back down alongside you, or back to your abdomen if you want. And then very gently, the option is to extend your left heel, but you don't have to. Raise your left arm up above you. The option is to extend the arm or keep it bent at the elbow, depending on your lots of things, neck and shoulder capacity included. Turn your head to the right, away from the extended left arm. Breathing in, bring the head back to the centre. And breathing out, relax the left foot and lower the left arm back down alongside you. And then bend one knee and then bend the other knee so that both feet are on the floor, hip width apart, knees up to the ceiling. And just take a couple of sways with the knees from side to side. If you feel that you want to adjust the feet to being wider to the edge of the mat, then please do. And then the invitation is to join in with the head movement. So as the knees drop to one side, your head might turn slightly away from the knees. If you find that your head is moving in the same direction as the knees, then that is absolutely fine. And then very gently come back to the centre. And then hugging the left knee into the chest. Just circling the left knee a couple of times in one direction. And then in the other direction. And then hug the right knee into the chest. Both knees are hugged into the chest. Just circle the right knee a couple of times in each direction. And then circle both knees, holding them with your hands, so that you're just massaging along the very lower part of your back. And then circle both knees in the opposite direction. And then soles of the feet to the ceiling and arms up and potentially behind you, like a bug. Breathing out, lower the arms, hug the knees back into the chest. So you can keep the knees bent, the arms bent as much as you need to. Breathing in, soles of the feet softly go to the ceiling and arms up behind you. Just check that the back of your neck is long, that it's not all crunched up. Breathing out. Lower your hands, hug your knees into the chest. Again, a couple of times in your own breath pattern. And keep the movement soft. In other words, be aware of not holding any tension, particularly in the neck and the shoulders. And then as you hug the knees into the chest, slide your hands down the shins so that your knees will open a little bit, and you can hold either above on the shins or above the ankles, or you can hold the ankles. So you're doing what I call a supine Baddha Konasana or cobbler's pose. You're opening up the lower, at the groin area, the lower lymphatic system. And it's quite a pull here. If that's too much of a pull, then just bring your knees in slightly. And if it's too much of a pull, then you can alter the position of your hands and just hug your shins so that it's just a much more gentle opening. Your legs are in a slight V. And then very gently hug the knees into the chest. And then just very gently let the knees drift away to arm's length. And then hug the knees into the chest. And then very gently let them drift away to arm's length. And just carry on a couple of times in your own breath pattern, hugging the knees into the chest. And letting them drift away. And just be aware that this is massaging across the lower back. So this is a Vata derangement, so that will mean nothing to you, so in Ayurveda medicine. Lower back issues, bizarre things, asthma, Bell's palsy, tics, epilepsy, teeth issues, often linked to something called a Vata derangement. And the seat of Vata is the lower abdominal area in Ayurvedic medicine. And so this hugging the knees to the chest acts on that Vata, they call it dosha, that Vata element within us. And so it's working on a particular energy, the Apana energy, so it's very soothing. It's a universally pain-relieving soother. And then just very gently holding the knee under the thighs, just let one foot and then the other foot come down to the earth. So the knees are up to the ceiling, the feet are hip width apart. And we're going to do a couple of pelvic tilts. So the hands this time are palms down alongside you. And just flatten the back as if you're going to lift your bottom up and then release the back. And again, flatten the back a couple more times in your own breath pattern. Just to get that pelvic tilt movement settled in the mind. Take your hands and hold your mat. So my thumb is on top of the mat and my other fingers are underneath. And with my thumbs, I'm pulling my thumbs towards my feet, so away from my head. So I'm creating a certain amount of pressure with my hands. And I'm keeping that thumb pressure. I'm now pressing the feet down, lifting the bottom into a bridge,
chin to the chest, come up as little or as much as you like, and feel that the hands and thumbs are pulling towards your feet, so that secures your lift. And then breathing out, lower the bottom back down to the ground. It gives you a more supported bridge. Just very gently sway both knees from side to side. And again, we'll try that again, holding the thumbs, just slightly pulling the thumbs towards the feet. As you flatten the back, lift the bottom up, press down on the feet, your chin comes to your chest. You'll almost tuck your shoulders underneath you, and then just relaxing as you breathe out, lower the bottom back down along to the earth. Just let the knees gently sway from side to side. So a bridge is strengthening for the lower back, but it has other aspects too. So it's the throat energy, the Udana energy. It's kind of for the mind on one level. And then just release the hands. So we're still going to do a bridge, but this time we're going to do it in raising our arms. So press the feet into the ground, lift the bottom, lift the arms with bent elbows up and above you, your chin tucks into your chest, so you're stretching your arms behind you. And start to breathe out and lower the back and bottom towards the ground. And then halfway through the breath, the arms will follow, it's less effort. As the bottom connects to the ground, hug the knees into the chest. Soles of the feet to the ceiling, you can keep your knees bent, palms of the hand together. You can look towards your thumbs through that V, and you can do one of two things. You can either take one hand behind your head and neck to support it, breathing out to lift the head up, or if you're very strong and you're not bothered, you could just lift your head up without the head support. And then lower your head with or without support. Bend both knees into the chest, just slightly rock from side to side. And then breathing out, let the feet come back down to the earth. Palms alongside you. Pressing the feet into the ground, lifting the bottom. Chin comes to the chest. You softly raise the elbows. You can be bent at the elbows above you. And then start to breathe out and lower the back and the bottom towards the ground. And partway through that out breath, your arms will naturally roll back down. Hug the knees into the chest. Soles of the feet to the ceiling in a slight V. And palms of the hands together. That can be enough. You're already engaging your abdomen. You can either do the stronger version of lifting the head off the ground to look at the thumbs, or take one hand, I'm using my right hand behind the head and neck to support it, to look up to the thumb, so there's less strain on the neck, and then lower the head back down to the ground, hug the knees into the chest, slightly rock from side to side, and then place the feet back onto the ground, and hands alongside you on the mat. And slightly wave the knees from side to side in a windscreen wiper action. And then last time, press the feet into the ground. Lift up your bottom as little or as much as you like. The higher you lift your bottom, you might roll your shoulders underneath you. Bring your arms up behind you, your chin comes to your chest. Check that your knees aren't splaying out, that someone's mentally holding them to stop them splaying out. And as you breathe out, lower your back, your bottom, your hands should follow naturally. And then hugging the knees into the chest. You can do it 2 legs at a time or 1 at a time, soles of the feet to the ceiling. Palms of the hands together, and you can stay here, lift with head support, or lift just your head depending on your neck capacity. And then breathing out, lower your head back down to the ground, hug the knees into the chest. Just gently rock from side to side. And then just place the feet on the ground. Let both knees drop over to the right. Your left hip lifts. Your right hand can rest on the abdomen or at the heart centre, and your left hand can rest on the waist, or you can raise your left arm above you, bent at the elbow if you need to. You can bend your knees up a little bit more, so that you're in a semi sort of supine twist. You can look above, straight ahead, or slightly look to the left. Just stretched out twist. The knees won't come completely to the ground. And then very gently, tummy in, or lower abdominal muscles engage into the spine a little bit as you roll up, knees up, lower the left arm. Just let the knees wave slightly from side to side. And then let both knees drift to the left. Your right hand can be on the waist. Sorry, your left hand can be on your tummy or on the waist. Your right hand can go up to the edge of the mat and look slightly up or to the right. And then tummy comes in, very, very gently bring the legs up, lower the right arm, and once more just gently come to sway the knees from side to side. And as you sway the knees, the invitation is to have an awareness of where the movement's initiating from, but it might be easier if I said, press your feet into the ground so that the swaying initiates from the feet. And then as you carry on swaying, have a sense that the knees are leading the movement. And then have a sense that it's almost the pelvis is leading the movement, that you're pressing the pelvis into the ground to initiate that sway to sway, side to side. There's no right or wrong, incidentally, it's just an awareness of where the movement is naturally coming from. And then bring the knees to the centre and just very gently let the head go to the left a little bit. Chin slightly in, just extending. And then roll the head back or move the head back to the centre and very gently let the head turn towards the right. It won't go totally to the right. Chin slightly, very subtly in. And then coming back to the centre. Raise the arms above your head, clasping your hands under the head. Your elbows are out to the side. And just enjoy the stretch under the arms. If for some reason that's too intense a stretch, then you can always bring your elbows towards the head and that will lessen the stretch under the arms. So you're opening your upper lymphatic system here, stretching under the arms. And to engage the core, the abdominal muscles, as you breathe out, flatten the back to the ground and lift your head, supporting it with your hands. Your elbows might come together. If you dome your tummy, you've gone too far. And then just release the head back down to the ground. And the arms open out to the side again stretching out under the arms. And when you're ready, flatten your back as you breathe out. Lift the head slightly, elbows can slightly come together, chin comes to the chest. Again, you'll feel that engaging in the lower back, in the core. Flat in the back protects the lower back. And just release out. And last time, flattening the back, lifting the head supported on the neck, elbows slightly come together, and then just release the head back to the ground, just relax. You can slide the fingers out from under the head. Perhaps place one hand on the tummy, the abdomen, the navel area, and then one hand slightly higher, either above the bust or the chest level, or just slightly at the chest level, connecting into the breath. And then very gently place the hands on the waist, the lower ribs, the ribs, the lower ribs above the waist, and the elbows will open out wider. And just have a sense of breathing into your hands. And again, also just check that your neck hasn't shot up, your chin is relaxed, you haven't shot it up to the ceiling, the back of the neck is extended. And then very gently the elbows will come in for this. Just place the hands somewhere that relaxes on the chest somewhere. Resting the elbows on the ground. As you breathe in, just open the hands out to the side, like a clam or a shell opening. And then breathing out, the elbows stay on the ground. Just let the hands drift back to the chest or wherever is comfortable on your body. Again, just breathe in, the hands open slightly away from one another, but the elbows rest on the ground. And breathing out, bring the hands just slightly back, touching on the chest. Just a couple of more breaths in your own time. This is a moving meditation, coordinating movements at the heart center with the breath. And then just gently rest the hands back onto the chest. And very gently, we're going to come to kneeling. Roll, yogically you roll to the right, away from the heart, to come gently up to kneeling. And kneeling up as well. Knees are hip width apart. Lift and roll the shoulders. So you tend to have your feet flat as I've got them. If you're wobbly at all, or you prefer it, you can always tuck your toes under, because that will stabilise your back more. But you've got to enjoy tucking your toes under, so there's an option. Breathing in, raising the hands up. Breathing out, bend into almost like a cow, just hands onto the ground, almost rounding the back. You can carry on to bring your elbows to the ground if that's more comfortable, with the bottom up in the air. It's your choice. Slide the hands towards you, or your knees, as you kneel up again. Circle the arms up, looking ahead or up, but ahead is fine. And then circling down, rounding the back, either having the hands to the ground or the elbows on the ground with your bottom up. Again, that's up to you. Slide the hands towards your knees as you kneel up. And just carry on doing this in your own time, your own breath pattern. chin to the chest is soothing to the nervous system, activates the vagus nerve.
Making me want to cough when I do that.
Is it?
Yeah, when I put my chin right to my chest.
Chest. That's interesting because that connects to your thyroid, so that's very
Perhaps slightly less than chin to chest, but it's very interesting because it connects into that area.
Yeah.
so yes, slightly less chin to chest than in your case.
But actually, coughing isn't necessarily a bad thing.
It's like a reflex. Again, that could be a subject. You know, maybe it's like a, and then just very gently make the next one the last one.
Bottom perhaps stays up in the air if you're down at that point. Just enjoy, maybe walk the hands out a little bit, just stretching the upper back. You can, if you like your quarter dog, you can bring one hand across to one side. That's interesting, I'm just noting that. And then bring that hand back and just reverse your quarter dog, stretching the other side. And then very gently, we're going to come to a seated position. So on the thyroid of the neck and the throat, some people love this and other people find it absolutely that they don't. So
We can soon tell me. So it's just simply almost massaging. I like to sort of slightly massage down. It's almost like, but some people love it. It's like, and some people don't. Some people find it really panic-inducing. You quite like it. I quite like it. Get rid of your jowls.
Oh, yes, well.
Okay, so
It'll be a while.
So again, you can just turn your head slightly, go to the side, and then come down to the centre. And as we're on jowls, and I can talk, but it's the most absolutely unglamorous thing for jowls. So I will do it. It's it's like a toothless old woman. You bring the bottom bit over the front, like that. Like that. Bring your chin up and open your mouth. My jaw's clicking up. You're almost stretching. You're stretching underneath there. And it looks disgusting, but this is quite a nice, soft, gentle one. And then just very gently keep hearing myself included. I've had a thing with teeth, so almost just getting your backs of your hands and just massaging up the jaw. And then dropping the hands, this time palms up. In yoga it's the lotus flower, but you can choose any flower in any colour. And we're just going to finish with a few breaths. Just take a normal in and out breath. And when you next breathe in, open the left-hand flower, the fingers just slightly unfurl. And breathe out, let the fingers just come together. In theory, the thumb should just connect with the fingers, but it doesn't matter. And breathing in, next time, open and unfurl your right fingers. And breathing out, just let the fingers gently soften towards one another. And then open, as you breathe in, open your left flower. Breathe out, close your left flower. And the same with the right. Breathing in, open the right. And closing. Just a few breaths from your own breath pattern. Opening and closing your flowers. You can have the visualization to go with it as well. The flowers opening of your choice and then closing up. Then just release the flowers. Bring your chin slightly to the chest, hands apart, taking a bow for yourself.